Okay, so look at 19. 19 is totally weird. Okay, so if we look at 19, okay, we can write our general formula, y equals blank x plus blank. What is our y-intercept?
4.
I'm sorry.
None.
0.
None.
Y-intercept.
None.
That means where it crosses the y line.
0.
None.
4. Oh.
0. None.
Okay, and this is where like people have a tendency like to screw up on this particular page in general because you guys look at the x-intercept. The x-intercept, yeah, it would be 4, but the y-intercept there isn't any, so it technically would be 0.
Yeah, I got that part. I just need to figure out.
Okay, now what about the slope?
Intercept.
Wouldn't it just be 1?
Okay, so let's think about it. What does slope mean?
Rise over 1.
Rise over run. So we can label one point. You should be able to. You can't in this case, but and label another point. How much do you rise?
1.
How much do you run?
0.
0.
0. So what is 1 divided by 0?
0.
0.
No.
1 divided by
1.
0.
No. So this is the killer. In math, okay, and if you try to type it in your calculator, you cannot have 0 as a denominator.
Oh no.
It's undefined, is what they call it. Okay, so that's a no-no. It's not allowed. We're not actually going to do this problem. These particular ones have certain slopes. So cross off 19.
Oh, I was gonna actually try to do it.
You can, but I doubt that you would be able to figure it out on your own.
Probably not.
Okay?
I'm on 21 million.
Okay, go to the very last section. It says sketch the graph of each line. So this is where everybody's jacking it up today. Okay, I gave it this paper to my other 2 classes, and oh my Lord, have mercy. Okay, so everybody can get the y-intercept part down. Easy, cool, got it. Okay, so we graph this. What form is this in? You can kind of tell by looking at it.
No, 4.
No, what form is it in?
Y equals mx plus.
What's that fancy name that it's called? Slope. Huh? Interception, I'll take it. That's pretty damn close. Okay, slope intercept form. And you can kind of tell because there's a slope and an intercept. Okay? So, when we're graphing these, okay, same way as we found the y-intercept first, you graph the y-intercept first, which is at 3. Okay? Now, here's the kicker, is where everybody starts screwing it up because, and it's not the way that I taught you, but, so, our slope is what? 4. So, but any number, any whole number, you can write as over 1 as a fraction. So we could rewrite this as 4 over 1. Okay? So now you know rise over run, right? You know you have to rise 4 and run 1. Okay? Can we go up 4?
No.
We can't. So we are forced to go down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And then we need to run 1. Which way do we run 1?
To the right.
So most people would say positive, okay? But this makes our line negative. So you almost have to do the opposite of whatever the bottom number says.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay, and if you can't remember that, okay, the other, I don't say cheater way would be, so we go down 1, 2, 3, 4 over 1. Okay, this is what your line should actually look like. And if you can't remember to do the opposite, okay, you need to draw yourself a little picture up at the top. Okay, we have two graphs. A positive line should always go like that. Okay, a negative line should always go like this. This is a positive slope, this is a negative slope. Okay, and we should be able to look at our problems and kind of tell what our slope should look like. So, number 22, is that a positive or a negative slope? Without even graphing it, what kind of slope is it?
Positive.
It's a positive slope, which means my line should be going in this direction. This is a positive 4/5. That means it's a positive slope, so my line should look like that. Okay, and now we can kind of graph it. We can say, well, my y-intercept is at what?
Hold on, I'm doing 23.
Yeah, I know. You guys are all trying to work ahead, so that's why you're not answering it.
Oh, I already figured that one out.
So are we gonna do this?
Our
Two.
y-intercept is at 2. Okay, and how much do we rise?
4.
We rise 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we go over 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and we know that this slope kind of looks right according to our little picture up here. Okay, now my other thing, because I grade your papers, right? I don't need you to have a whole bunch of points, but you have to have 2 points. So do not do this, and this is an example. Do not put me a dot here and then draw me a line. That is not accurate. That is not true. I will mark that wrong, hands down, every day of the week. Do not draw me that black line. Because how do I know that you actually graphed your slope? This is what the line should look like. That's what you drew. That's not right. Technically, yeah, you graphed the intercept. You should have 2 points. One, an intercept, and one being a slope. Okay? So don't draw me no crap. But I don't need you to graph every single point, okay? But you do have to graph at least 2. Okay? So let's look at 23. Is this a positive or negative slope?
Negative.
It's a negative slope, so that gives us an idea of what our picture should look like, right? So our picture should be going this way, essentially. Okay, our intercept is at 4. Okay, and my slope, I'm going to rise how many? Okay, and then I'm going to run how many?
Over 1.
1.
Right.
So anything is over 1. So it's going to be over 1. So I cannot rise 3, so I have to go down 3. 1, 2, 3.
To the side, negative.
To the right.
And I got to go this way. Okay, because I have a negative slope. And that's why I said do the opposite of whatever you're...
Because if it's coming up on the right side, then it's going to be a positive.
Okay, so that's what mine should look like.
Yep.
So if we look at 24, is that a positive or negative slope?
Negative.
It's a negative slope, so that lets us know our picture should look like something like this. It should be going that way. Okay, our y-intercept is at -2. Okay, and we rise how many?
3.
3, and we go over how many?
1.
1. So we say 1, 2, 3, and we need to go over 1. Well, which way do I need my line to go?
Positive.
If I go this way, my line's going to be like this. If I go this way, my line's going to be like this. Okay, so do I need my line to go this way or this way?
Other way.
This way, which means I need to go 1 over this way.
What would we do for 27?
So 27 is the one we're going to do.
Okay.
Okay, so 27. Okay, what is our slope positive or negative?
Positive.
Why?
Because there's not a negative sign.
That's a good enough answer for me. There's not a negative sign, so that means it's positive. Okay, and what is our slope?
X.
It's not x.
Y.
Huh? y1. So there's nothing in front of it, so we know that our slope is 1. What about our y-intercept?
It is.
It's 0 because there's nothing there. Okay, and this is where I hate math. Okay, I love math. Okay, otherwise why in the world would I teach math? I love math and I love kids. But this is where I hate math. I know you guys laugh, but I like older kids. People think I'm nuts. I like older kids. Yes, you guys are more mouthy, but like the little kids, what are you gonna do? Like they're freaking little. You can't do anything. What am I gonna kick a little kid? Like you can't do that. Okay, I don't freaking like preschoolers.
It's frowned upon, but I still do it.
It's okay. I do too. Okay, so if there's no y-intercept, it's a 0. But if there's no number in front of an x, it's 1. And so that can kind of be a little bit confusing for some people sometimes. Okay, so our y-intercept is right here at 0, 0. And our slope is 1. But how much do we rise? How much do we run? 1 over 1. Okay, and this is one where I tell you, like, you don't need 50 million points. Could you graph them? Yeah, it'd be up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. Okay, this is what your line would look like, but that's kind of silly to graph all those points. You just need to have enough points to where I can tell that you know what you're doing as far as your slope and y-intercept go, okay? But I certainly don't need you to like use a freaking ruler and all that. And I'm a pretty fair individual, so like if you forget like a negative or something, I usually just throw it on there for you guys. I don't mark it wrong, but I should be able to tell what's going on with your picture, okay?